Welcome to the story of emergency launch. The sky over the Mediterranean was painted in streaks of gold and crimson, as Captain Aria Vega guided her sleek private jet through the evening air. Known in aviation circles as the runway queen both for her impeccable flying skills and her effortlessly stylish presence, Aria was as much a fashion icon as she was a pilot. Dressed in her custom-tailored navy flight suit with gold piping, her dark hair tucked neatly beneath her cap, she radiated calm confidence. She wasn't just ferrying passengers, she was taking them on an experience. Today's flight carried 6 high-profile clients from Milan to Casablanca. And everything had been perfect until the warning light flashed. Fuel system error. Aria's hands tightened around the control yoke. The auxiliary fuel pump was malfunctioning, and the main tank's pressure was dropping faster than expected, at 32,000 feet over open water. This wasn't just a hiccup. This was the kind of challenge pilots trained for but hoped never to face. "Ladies and gentlemen," she said over the intercom, her voice smooth yet steady, "we've encountered a minor technical issue. I'll be making some adjustments, and I want to assure you that your safety is my priority." Inside the cockpit, her co-pilot, Liam Torres, glanced at her. "Nearest diversion point is an airstrip in Sardinia, but it's small. We'd have to attempt a precision short landing." Aria's mind worked like clockwork. A stylish pilot she might be, but style meant nothing without skill, and skill meant staying alive. "Plot the course," she said. "We're going in." The jet dipped gently, and Aria's eyes scanned the instrument panel. She rerouted remaining fuel to balance the engines, calculating exactly how much she had left before the tanks ran dry. Outside, the sun dipped lower, casting a deep amber light over the waves. In the cabin, her passengers, a fashion designer, a tech CEO, and a few others sat in nervous silence. One of them, the designer, walked to the cockpit door. "Captain, are we in danger?" he asked softly. "We're in capable hands," she replied with a small smile. "Please take your seat and fasten your belt. I need the runway clear both in the sky and on the ground." As the Sardinian coast came into view, Liam whistled under his breath. "That's a short strip. You sure about this?" "Not sure," Aria said, her eyes locked ahead. "Certain." She radioed the tiny airstrip, her voice crisp and controlled. "Sardinia Tower. This is Vega 1 requesting emergency landing clearance. Fuel system failure. 2 engines operational. 6 souls on board." The tower's response came quickly. "Vega 1, runway clear. Winds 5 knots from the west. You're cleared to land." Aria's heart thumped, but her hands were rock steady. She lined up the approach, lowering the landing gear earlier than usual to avoid last-second malfunctions. The runway lights winked faintly against the darkening sky. "Flaps full," she instructed. "Flaps full," Liam confirmed. The plane descended, the ground rushing closer. Aria made micro-adjustments with surgical precision. The wheels kissed the runway with a satisfying thump, and she immediately deployed full reverse thrust. The jet slowed, the end of the strip looming large, but they stopped with 20 meters to spare. The cabin erupted in relieved applause. Aria allowed herself one deep breath before unbuckling her harness. She stepped into the cabin, her uniform immaculate despite the intensity of the landing. "We've arrived safely," she said with a grin. "Though I'm afraid the in-flight cocktails will have to wait until our next trip." Her passengers laughed, the tension breaking like a wave. The designer approached her again, shaking his head in awe. "You didn't just land a jet, Captain. You landed it with style." Later, as Aria stood on the tarmac watching mechanics tend to the aircraft, she felt the cool night breeze on her face. She knew that no matter how much glamour the world saw in her job, moments like this were the real test. It wasn't about looking composed, it was about being composed when everything was on the line. And tonight, she had passed with flying colors. The end.